right. Make sure it's recording. It is recording. What up, guys? Oh my God. I feel like a bag of whore. Just ate muddy cow. I don't know if that's something that you guys have around where you are, but it's like a burger joint in Minnesota, and it sounds like a really good idea every time. And then you're like, oh yeah, let's do that. And then you eat it, and then it feels like you're fucking just like sticking your finger like inside of a man's asshole and then just rubbing both of your eyes really hard. That's what it reminds me of. And I'm also drinking Red Bull. I'll probably be diagnosed soon with the type 2 diabetes. I'll keep you guys updated. All right, so how you guys doing? This is my Q&A answer vid. I did a video 2 days ago saying ask me anything, hoping to get 10, 12 questions. I got way more than that. I haven't gone through any of the questions. This isn't scripted. I didn't go over the answers beforehand. I didn't even read some of the questions. So this is all raw. This is all uncut. This is probably going to get me in trouble. So let's go. I asked the questions in the video, obviously, but then I posted in a couple groups, and some people asked questions, a couple questions in the groups. I got some PMs like via fucking Instagram. So I'm going to go through it all, and then hopefully this all works out. So first, I'm going to start with the questions on the video, and we're going top to bottom. So there's a video. Question number 1 comes from Scott Weinberg. Shout out to my buddy Scott Weinberg. If you had a gun to your head and had to purchase a Hot Toys figure, what would it be? I'll be real honest with you. I don't know what Hot Toys even makes, really. I don't like sci-fi. I don't like, you know, when I was younger, I liked superheroes, but if I had to have one in my collection, see, I don't know enough about them. I don't know. I would probably go with the 89 Batman. Or I might go with the original Batman and Robin from like 66, I think it was. I could be wrong. Please don't yell. I'd probably go with the Batman and Robin duo. Like, I would fuck with that legit. Because, like, when I was a baby, I was like, they had like the blue bat. I call him the blue Batman. He was on TV. It was like a TV program or some shit. And I'd tie like a kitchen towel to my neck and just run around. I would draw out the Batman logo and I'd tape it to my shirt. So I'd probably rock the either the 89 Batman or the duo, the 66 Batman and Robin. Next question, 1 6 figures. I believe this is my man Branco. What are your thoughts on the future on custom scene regard both collectors and artists? Many collectors left boat, including me, and many artists disappear due to known problems with tailors and knockoffs. That's one of his 3 questions. To answer the question where my thoughts on the future on custom scene, collectors and artists. Well, when I first got into this hobby, this is going to be a long video. Oh man, I'm going to try to go fast. When I first came into this hobby, it was way different than it is now. You know, there wasn't Facebook, there wasn't 3D printing really. It was Sideshow Freaks. It was hand sculpting for the most part. How I see the hobby now, it's obviously growing, and it's growing really fast. I honestly have no idea where it's gonna head. I would be lying if I told you that the 3D shit didn't scare me. For example, Rain Man just did the little Yoda, or what is that fucker with the little coffee cup with the big ears from Star Trek, Star Wars. I do not like that shit. So I'm sorry, so I don't know the names, but I think it's Yodi or the little baby fucking. They have memes on it all over Facebook. But like Rain Man did it, and it was like super cool. Everybody's like, oh my God. But then like literally 5 other people like just printed it out on their 3D printing. And I'm not saying that 3D printing takes less talent. I'm just saying more people can 3D print, in my opinion, than can hand sculpt. So I think that the future of that is going to get, I think that full original projects from artists, tailoring is a big important thing. I think that the big artists need to find tailors that are fire and keep it on the down low. Collectability, you need to continue to have, the collectability has to be something in order for A, the artist to continue to charge what they're charging, B, the collectors to be able to survive, because a lot of the collectors have to sell to buy. If they're not able to sell, they will not buy, and it's just fucked up. So oversaturation is a thing. It's just really, it's hard to explain it in a polite way without me saying gay and fuck you a lot. Waiting times for full figure projects. A lot of people have contacted me about the fucking wait times. It's interesting, that's for sure. Some artists, you know, collect payments for a run of 10 and literally you won't get it for like 3 years. It's like, I don't know what it's like to be an artist. I don't do runs. I don't do that. But in my line of work, I have a hard time believing that 10 figures, if the artist was in fact working full time, would take 3 years. Artists in this hobby are very lucky. Let's be real. You know, if I'm late at my job, if I'm late twice, I'm done. You know, if I have a project that's due, or if I have a presentation that's due at my job and I'm late, or it's incorrect, or something happens, you get one warning and then you're done. Because of the fact that these artists have all of our money, we don't say shit, they're given a little bit too much slack, you gotta pull them in. All right, so that's 2 questions and I'm still rambling. All right, sorry guys. Terminator Sci-Fi Collector 87. Question: what keeps you positive in life? Do you find this hobby a good way of getting away from the real world, mate? Enjoy your vids. They're always classy to watch. Thank you for the comment, sir. This is an outlet for so many people that are involved in this, including myself. The hobby lets me get away from real life issues, real life problems. The hobby gives you something to look forward to. When real life just fucks ya in the ass, you can step back, you can go to your collection and you can enjoy it. And you can, you know, if you got something that you're waiting on, you can look forward to that. It's helped me get through a lot of dark shit, like for real. So I absolutely believe that this shit keeps me positive. And it's a great way of getting away from everyday's real life bullshit. Evil Dark Eyes. I have a couple for you if you would be so kind. Absolutely. What figure have you sold in the past that you regret and why? Wouldn't you guys like to know? Because I'm going to say this figure and then everybody's going to contact me like, oh, that figure's cool now? That figure's cool now? And then the price is going to go up. Watch. I regret selling my Van Gogh from Kim Sarang. In your opinion, why do you believe there is so much hate/challenge at times in the hobby in comparison to others? Hate? So everybody collects differently. I've always known that, but I've recently just began to accept it. You know, some people like to do their own work. Some people like to collect only from the artists, collectible. And I'm going to share you a perfect example real quick. Shout out to my buddies that are watching this that are making fun of me. Hold on a second. All right. So one of my favorite figures that I own is my Part 3 Jason right here. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see myself on the camera. But this is my Part 3 Barn Maniac, Camp Maniac from Beetle Metallic. A collector contacted me 2 days ago and wanted to see an in-depth look of this set. I don't know if my chair is blocking. My Jack Torrance Shining set, right? I am so careful with my figures, like it is ridiculous. Like when I shot that Willy Wonka vid yesterday, it looked like I had, like bro, I wiped down every single paint bottle. I wiped down the desk. I had the spray can out and I didn't want anything near it. So I'm very, very, very anal with my shit. When I opened the Detolf, if you guys know how Detolfs work, I opened it up, and when you open it, there's a magnet, so it kind of jerks a little, and you got to be real fucking careful. Jason, who's been in the same pose for like a decade, I feel like, with the pitchfork, he tipped forward, and I quick grabbed it. Nothing happened to the figure, but the pitchfork hit my forearm, and it broke. So my pitchfork broke, right? So here's my pitchfork. Here's my pitchfork. And it broke. The 2 little things broke. Now, the kind of collector that I am, I immediately contacted Beto. I immediately contacted his cousins. I immediately posted want to buy, blah, 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 blah. I paid, and I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm not bragging. It's more of an insult to myself. I paid $500 for another fucking pitchfork. Why? Because I need it complete. I need it from the artist. I need my set perfectly conditioned, like mint condition. And if it isn't that, I will not be able to sleep. I got OCD. I'm all fucked up. So back to the question, the hate thing. there's a lot of hate. Obviously, a lot of people dislike me, which we'll get to that later on in this video, even though I've been fucking going on forever. People collect for different reasons, and that creates arguments. And the internet is a very easy place to create arguments. Now, me, myself, other guys that go on YouTube that use their real name, you know what I'm saying? That put their face out there, that put their lives out there, that try to share this with you. We are an easy target. It's easy. It's you guys watching. It's very, very easy to not post pictures of yourself, not post pictures of what you're doing, not post pictures of anything. Just random fucking shit with fake names, and it's very easy to go behind the computer. That's a real, what they say, keyboard warrior. See, I'm rambling now. I think that, okay, let's just back up. The reason that there's hate in this hobby and there's a challenge between collectors, everybody has a different belief. It's at the end of the day, it's so easy to chirp online, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in other hobbies, like I've stated 100,000 times in the past, I've never seen such a cutthroat hobby than this figure shit. And I don't know if it's like to be fair, like we're collecting toys, like we're grown men collecting toys, like that's kind of sketch. I remember like telling cause I have a motorcycle and I got a bunch of guys that do like bike shit. And I remember telling like a couple of my friends, like, you know, a little bit of the drama, and they literally looked at me and they're like, bro, you're fucking kidding me, right? You're serious, or are you kidding? So I think that the nerd part plays it, and that's kind of fucked up to say because I'm just as much of a nerd as you motherfuckers, but I think that has a lot to do with it too, straight up. Like, we're all kind of gay. What is your all top time 3 favorite actors and why? Ooh, actors? Robin Williams, Denzel Washington. This is a tough one. I'd honestly have to say Tom Hanks. Have you guys seen Mr. Rogers? It's fucking amazing. Nerdiest RN. Do you have any influence on Lee's future project or any other custom artist? Now, this is also a controversial topic because, you know, everybody, it's like this custom hobby, for you guys that don't know, in this circle, it's like the biggest dick competition. Like, who's got the biggest pull? Who's got the biggest collection? Who's got the most fucking say? But I'm going to tell you this right now, and I don't give a fuck. Yes, I have influence, as do a lot of other collectors, especially ones that have been in the game for a while. Lee always contacts me, hey bro, what do you think of this? Or you think I should do this? Or you think you know, and a lot of, especially now at the state of the hobby with tailoring and shit, there's a lot of politics with it. You know, clothing, wait times, a lot plays into it. It's more than just like choosing a character. With One's Customs, obviously, I talk to him on the phone like daily. Like we're good friends. K June, shout out to my buddy K June. Yeah, so I do. If you want anything, holla at your boy. Just kidding. Jeff Kittleson, do you still have the One's Customs Shining with Frozen Jack? I actually do not have that, and it was actually a Rain Man Jack Torrance Shining figure. It was the Frozen Jack from Rain Man, not One's Customs, and I do not have that, unfortunately. All right, let's go. Phil Brightman. More Ghost Vid Stiff. That skull is savage. Yeah, maybe I should go. Would you guys like to see Stiff Richards goes ghost hunting? I'll walk around with the GPS, or what do they call it? Like Zach Baggins and the Ghost Hunters or whatever. The infrared fucking thing. Maybe I'll do that. Michael Sanders, sorry. What are some of your favorite films that might be surprising to others? And maybe some custom figures would you like to see from those films? Films that might be surprising to others. I'm a huge murder porn guy. I know that's not in movies. I love fucking serial killers. I'm very interested with how the mind works, with how people act and interact with people, and how people could literally kill fucking 8 people and then go to sleep like a little baby the next night. But that's not films, but I am huge into that shit. Films that would surprise you guys. Love the Titanic. I don't give a fuck. I love that shit. I know that Leo was made recently. I wasn't the biggest fan, but yeah, Titanic guy. I love the Green Mile. fucker, that fucking John Coffey, that's some tear-jerking shit. Someone else did like a custom John Coffey that I seriously would fuck with. I would love to get a really good fucking John Coffey. That would be swag. These are films that would surprise you. I love film. I obviously love film. We all love film. But as far as surprising, I'm not sure. And you said maybe some figures. Would you like to see those films? Yeah, I would definitely fuck with a John Coffey, because that's my shit. Vancouver Film, how are your bikes looking going forward? On the real though, if you could commission Lee, Rain Man, to make any figure, what would it be? It's funny, I'm not trying to throw shade here. I've been trying to get Lee to do a Scarface since the day I started this hobby, since I started talking to Lee. I had a 6 scale Grails exclusive Scarface run in the works. We had a list and everything. It was gonna be the Yunsel on the tailoring with the blue suit with the arm sling, and he's gonna have the pistol and shit, all super fucking fire. And probably 2 weeks into it, Lee Rain Man contacted me, and he said that he talked to the Blitz, his friend in Blitzway, or whoever the fuck made the other Scarface, and he said, friend, I can't make run of them. I already talked to my friend, and he asked to please not make. So it was fucked up. And then later on, it was commissioned by another collector. He didn't mean any harm by it, but he was originally on the run in SSG. SSG is called 6 Scale Grails. It's my Facebook group. Not a lot of people in it. We try to keep it low pro. We got like 6,000 member requests. So if you really want to get in, send me a PM. But yeah, it was already commissioned. He just posted pictures on his Instagram, and it looks fabulous. So congratulations, whoever got that. Just makes me want to fucking die. Next question. I'm gonna annihilate your name. Brandon Abushanob? What is your favorite horror movie that doesn't already have a 1/6 scale figure available? Huh! I would probably say Hellraiser. I'm a big fan of Pinhead. I'm not sure why that hasn't been touched, but that would be my choice. D Knight, I love werewolves. What is your favorite werewolf film? Have you seen Dog Soldiers? If you could have any werewolf in 1/6, which one? If you had to rename the latter, what would you call it? All right, Dean Knight. Everybody knows Deanie. I have not seen Dog Soldiers. I know you sent me a voicemail the other day. Before you do this Q&A vid, you need to watch Dog Soldiers. I've just been so busy with work and fucking life. I will watch it though. I have it in my saved on my PS4. My favorite werewolf film, American Werewolf in London. My favorite werewolf though of all time, I don't care what anybody says, is from Michael Jackson's Thriller. I don't know if you'd even call that a werewolf. You'd probably call that a werewolf, right? That really got me into horror in general. So I remember that shit. I used to fucking do the dances and shit. Wear my mom's red fucking dress jacket around the house. But yeah, Dean, I will watch Dog Soldiers, and I'll hit you up, let you know what I think. Next question. Cody Stropes. Cody Stropes. What is the 1/6 scale figure in your collection that you will cherish the most and have the most connection to? I would probably say... I have to go with Wonka. Willy Wonka, growing up, that is magic. Like, that is as good as it gets. I never thought my life could be anything but catastrophe. But Willy Wonka, bro. I was raised by my grandpa, basically. And, you know, the whole Charlie and Grandpa Joe, and, you know, everybody remembers going to the candy shop. Like, bro, I got, like, this tattoo. It's from, like, the Tootsie Roll. You probably can't see it. I got the Tootsie Roll Indian, because every day I used to go, and I used to have my little change, and I used to go to the, you know, the store, and I used to have my change, and I would get a sucker, and if you had the Indian on it, the little Indian man behind the counter would fucking give you a free one. I fucking lived for that, dude, and it reminded me of Willy Wonka, and it would probably be my DX Wonka, for sure. Rain Man, it'll never be touched. It's the best set in 1/6 scale, period. Don't care what anybody says. TDG223, What are your top 5 favorite movies ever? What are your top 2 figures you would love to have handmade that are not made yet? Top 5 favorite movies ever. Scarface. Goodfellas. It sounds generic because I already fucking just did a video on it and told everybody about it, but it'd be Forrest Gump. A Christmas Story. A Christmas fucking Story. That fucking Ralphie little cocksucker. He's the ugliest little piece of shit, but I love that fucker so much. I love that movie. I love it to death. I would not want a custom Ralphie though, so don't ask. Man, I don't know. I gotta go horror, but it's hard. As a favorite? When there's like Creep Show and there's like Night of the Living Dead. Evil Deads are good for me. I'd go original Halloween. 1978 Thug Life. Top 5. What are 2 top figures you would love to have made that are not made yet? I would like a set made. I would want a Street Clothes, Dumb and Dumber, Lloyd and Harry. In the clothes that they were wearing, maybe a bike helmet from Robbie, maybe a little moped. I would fucking love that. And I would also like this duo. Picture this, if you will. Wayne's World. With the torn up jeans on the knees and the real hair and the little hats like Forrest Gump's hat and the flannel tied behind the waist. I think that set would fucking it would just be the best. The best. What are we at here? 13% battery life? So I would love that. Question from Snap Puccio, I believe this is Colin. Do you think the 1/6 scale hobby is growing in a good way or becoming too confusing / oversaturated with the different projects? Or is it not growing compared to back in the day? I do think that this hobby is 100,000% oversaturated. I do think that it's going to continue to grow. I think that new people that are coming in are being misled to a lot of different shit. The aftermarket for a lot of collectors is getting really watered down and really misused. I remember when I first came into this hobby, like I was straight up fucking people drill sergeant status my ass. They were like, where are you from? What do you want to collect this for? Where did you hear about us? And I was just like, Jesus Christ. I was so... Okay. So, 3 days later, how you guys doing? I had a really fucking stressful 3 days. I'm really bad with computers. I am not a techie guy. Shout out to all my computer geeks and IT fellas. I have so much respect for you fuckers because I am not capable of figuring out anything that has to do with computers. So when I was shooting my Q&A video, I'm like in the middle of it, everything's going fine. All of a sudden, my fucking camera starts beeping and shit. My computer turned off. Like everything just fucked up all at once. I was just like, okay. So I look at my camera. My camera is filled, like maxed out, no more memory. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll just dump my shit onto my computer and then erase this and then continue to film the rest of this Q&A vid. Then I try to dump it onto my computer and my computer memory is full. And then I'm like, Control-Alt-Delete. After like 10 YouTube vids of me trying to like copy and paste shit and fuck up everything, I call the Geek Squad at Best Buy. I don't even have to explain to you. I'll just show you the voicemail because I went in and there's 2 guys there and they were just laughing. They're like, you Joe? I'm like, yeah. They're like, dude, your voicemail had us all fucking dying. I don't even remember what I said, so I had them send it to me, the voicemail. And it's kind of funny, actually. So I'm just going to real quick share you guys how frustrated I was with this shit. And then we're going to continue with this Q&A. I'll probably run out of memory and just want to kill myself. So I'm really dumb with computers. And I have like a 1 terabyte external hard drive or some shit. And like when you go to my external hard drive, there's a bunch of zip files and fucking shit that I have no idea what it is. And I'm just clicking and it's not open. Like it's fucked up, but it's full. Like my shit's full as fuck. I got a terabyte of shit. And I was shooting my Q&A vid today and the camera I used, the storage filled up. So I had to dump all my shit onto the computer so I could erase it on the fucking camera so I could finish the video. And my fucking camera was full. I couldn't upload all of it because my computer was full.
and everything was fucked up. So I just walked into Best Buy. I said, give me your fucking biggest external hard drive you got. He's like, all right, 25 terabytes. I'm like, is that a lot? He's like, yeah. So I buy that fucking piece of shit. And I'm still gonna have fucking issues, bro. Like, god damn, I don't know how the fuck to do this shit. I got Time Machine going, but they're like, you can go back in time. But, like, when I go to Time Machine, it only lets me go back to, like, 4:30 today when the shit was fucked up already. And so you're obviously part of the Geek Squad, and I obviously am not. Obviously. Will you please help me? You give me a call back at your earliest convenience. My name is Joe, 612-817-10. Please call me back, sir. I really need your help. I'm a YouTuber. I got like 500 subs now. we need to get this done, okay? So hurry up.
So that's what happened, okay? So now that I wasted more of your time, let's go. Now, I look back and I was on Colin's question. So let's keep it moving. All right. So now that I'm back, I went top to bottom. I see that all the questions are mixed up again. So maybe this was just recently added. Let's actually start with Jacob McCollum. Question: if you could have a figure made of any television character, what would some of your choices be? For example, I'd like Omar Little from The Wire, or Tony Soprano from The Sopranos, made by Rain Man, or someone similar. All right, so Jacob, fun fact about me, I do not watch television. But if I were to have any television character made, I would, bro, I would want Kevin and Paul from The Wonder Years. What do you think of that? I know that's not as cool as The Sopranos. I'm not a big TV guy. I really am not. Like, I was just talking to the wife about canceling cable because the only cable we watch, the only time we have the TV on is football. But, The Wonder Years. All right. So back to Colin's question. Do you think the 1/6 scale hobby is growing in a good way or becoming too confusing / oversaturated with so many different projects? Or is it not growing compared to back in the day? I don't know if I answered this like 4 days ago, but the hobby is definitely growing. The hobby is definitely way oversaturated now. The sharks have smelled blood, sir. There's a lot of artists and new guys and companies. You know, the 1/6 scale hobby is very, very, very crazy. Like, I see like bust hobbies. Like there's bust artists that literally are making like one of one, like 1/1 scale, like busts and shit. Fucking silicone, glass eyes, real facial hair, real hair, just crazy shit. It takes them like weeks to make just one piece, and they're like 200 OBO. I get the scale is different, but it's just crazy how much some of this shit costs. I feel that, you know, the 1/6 scale artists, they're very, very fortunate, if you will. The ones that make a living just off of this, it's crazy. And, you know, I'm happy for them. Obviously, I fully support them. But I do think that more artists are coming in. I do think that there are a lot of artists that are pushing stuff out. Like, you see artists like, you know, accessories, they're like fucking 10 of these, they'll be done tomorrow. 10 of these, they'll be done tomorrow. I'll do 15 of those, they'll be done by Wednesday. And it's just like, whoa, slow down. Like, slow down. Okay, when I started this hobby, I used to take off work for a Rain Man release. Like, legit. There was a thing called, the way his website used to be set up, it was called cart jacking. What would happen is you would add to cart, and then you would have to like enter all your shipping information, and then you would like submit it, and then it would say your cart is empty. Because the person behind you or in front of you were, you know, faster. And obviously I'm not a fucking IT guy, right? I'm not good with computers. I'm like, enter, just fucking it up. Yeah, when a Rain Man released, like, I remember one time, I can't remember what release it was, but, you know, I had my wife with her laptop. I had my buddy come over with his laptop, and my brother was here. It went live, and it was just like, boom, gone. Those were runs of like 35, 50 even. It's like, now it's like, the new wave of collectors, they don't appreciate that. You know, they don't, anything that the new guy wants, they can have. As long as you pay for it, you can have it. I remember I missed the Bill 2 release. Like, it sold out like this. And I was like, God damn it. And I think the retail on it was like $1,000. And I wanted it bad because I had the Bill 1 and I wanted to complete it. You know, I wanted to have both sets. And I think I paid like $2,500 the next day because that's what they were going for. Now it's like Rain Man will release 10 figures and the motherfucker will be up for sale for 5 days. And like sometimes like these artists are like, well, I think we'll, instead of making 10, we'll just do 6. Like that's what the hobby has came down to. And you know what else really drives me nuts is there's a lot of people, there's a lot of guys that don't protect the integrity of this shit, of this hobby. They do not protect the value of this shit. They do not protect the collectability of this shit. And you know, everybody wants to point their finger at me like I'm some bad guy when I have done nothing in a decade than try to protect the fucking value of this shit so we can keep things moving. Like that's all I care about. That's all I do. Because I've seen hobbies completely fucking tank. My buddy, he was collecting resin statues like my buddy's 55, I won't say your name, sir. He told me he was collecting resin statues and some kits were going for like $10,000, $12,000. And then the shark smelled the blood. And then all of a sudden they were for $6,000. And then they were for $4,000. And now, you know, he held on to them. And now he said he couldn't get rid of them for $100. So you go from $11,000 to $100 because of oversaturation. It's funny because the guys that don't protect the value of any of this shit and the guys that don't protect the integrity of this shit, they want to turn around when they want to dump something and they're like, $5,000. And everybody's like, what, do you bump your fucking head? That shit fucking drives me nuts. And I'm going all over the place now. Look what you did, Colin. Backing up a little bit. Yes, the hobby is growing. And it's not necessarily growing in a good way. And I'm telling you, more options is never a good thing. It's really not. Knockoffs are getting crazy. They're getting a lot better. And with the knockoffs, I get it. It's like people that buy the knockoff wouldn't buy the original in the first place. And the people that buy the original wouldn't buy the knockoff. But it's still, what's going to keep this hobby from growing and in a positive way is new people. And these, like I said before, these new people are being misled because there's so much fucking shit in the market. It's nothing compared to back in the day. Nothing. And it breaks my heart, but luckily I do have a genuine passion for this shit. So if my collection was worth $0 tomorrow, I would be totally fine with it. But I do, like I said in I don't know if I took that video down because so many people fucking jumped on me. Oh yeah, I did take it down. I unboxed a Red Man Toys figure and I explained to them that a lot of these artists are my friends. And, you know, I want my friends to be able to continue to support themselves with their artwork. Next question. David Sheehan. Shout out to David. Custom figures can be very expensive, but what you get, it's well worth it. But I couldn't afford one, hopefully one day, but do you know of any artists or can they do, say, like a payment plan, say each month, probably messy that way, just hoping maybe I'd love a Rain Man figure, missed out on the John Elephant Man, which I would have loved. Okay, David. So, custom figures are very expensive, absolutely. Just because I have a bunch of custom figures, I am not in any way a rich man. I'm not rich. I'm rich in health and love and success and happiness. That's another reason why things get so crazy, like I was just saying, in the aftermarket and protecting the integrity of these pieces. Because let's just say Rain Man releases a figure. I would love to see Rain Man do Jaws, like the full Jaws set, the whole crew and shit, maybe a shark. You know, let's just say he wants $4,000. What I do usually is, I take some of the money out of my bank, obviously, but if I need an extra, $1,000, $2,000, maybe I'll just sit back, look at my collection. This isn't all the stuff I have. I do have a bunch of figures like in storage, but I'll go through my inventory, if you will, and I will say, well, I can sell this or I can sell that. Like, that's how everybody does it. You know what I mean? They liquidate to build. That's what I would suggest. I know a lot of people that first discover this hobby, they were introduced to this hobby by something else. Obviously, a lot of people come into this and they're either a Hot Toys collector or they're big into like movie props or like horror collecting, and they come in and they completely liquidate their old collection to be able to fund the new stuff. Also, I highly recommend something like PayPal Credit. PayPal Credit is kind of like a credit card online where, you get 6 months interest free. So if there's like a $2,000 figure and you can't really afford it, sometimes I'll put it on PayPal Credit and then I'll just make a couple of payments, and that's always worked for me. I know a lot of my buddies use that. So yeah, that is definitely something to think about. Also, I do know that like Beetle Metalli, One's Customs, they do in fact offer, payment plans. You can give them a down payment and then pay them in installs. As far as Rain Man go, I don't think he offers a payment plan, but that's something that you would want to probably do. That's something you probably want to use PayPal Credit for, maybe a credit card. Just don't tell the old lady, right? All right. Simply Aquatic. Question, thoughts, opinions. How do you feel about sending payments to artists when they ask for a down payment as friend and family without buyer protection? I recently had a so-called artist scam $200 from me by the name, I don't want to say the name because it's something I don't really want to bring up onto this channel, but even though his page looked legit and had buyers purchasing from him. To answer your question, I only send gift if it's either a non-refundable. A lot of artists will take a non-refundable deposit. That's because artists will take down deposits for being able to supply the run. Like they need to, let's just say an artist needs to pay for 30 clothing sets. Obviously, if a 30 clothing sets at $200, $300, $400 a piece, they need down payments. So they're going to say it's a non-refundable. So as far as sending payments online, I always send goods and services. Always send goods and services. That extra percent, I don't know what the hell it is, 4%, 4, 5%, 6 maybe max. Way worth it when you're spending this kind of money. I'll only send gift if it's a non-refundable deposit or it's a good friend of mine. Like if it's, somebody that I've done business with for years, obviously that doesn't, I know it's all good. Plus I'll fucking expose them if they did anything to my friends. But always send goods and services. That extra protection is well worth it. Okay, so looks like I hit all the questions on, one more. The Bearded Zeno. His question is, what figure do you have that smells the best? All right, so my buddy the Bearded Zeno, he does like Hot Toys unboxings and shit, and the fucker always is smelling his figures. I'm like, God damn it, dude, will you quit smelling your shit? Like he's just, every video he's opening it, he's all excited and shit, and I'm like excited with him watching. I'm like, what kind of clamshell you got? But it's all Hot Toy stuff, so it smells like fucking the new plastic from the factory. So he's always smelling that shit. And, oh man, it smells funny, comments, or it smells really good. Alan Gonzalez. See, I'm missing some of these questions here. I see my buddy Alan Gonzalez. I got a couple questions. What are your take on Shumi Arts? Is this the direction the hobby is going to go and get away from personally done artist runs? Also, what do you think of K-Jun, the Thinker DX set would go for now with the runner? You think it's possible to find one? All right, so first question, Shumi Arts. That's kind of like a fancy iMini-Me in my opinion. It's like a Denny Kim. It's ran by a few collectors in Korea, I believe. They have exclusive artists like K-Jun, and they got the clothing on lockdown when it comes to Yunsel. But what they do, since Yunsel has such a long time frame, they'll put a hold on like 6 or 7 outfits, and then they'll just wait the time, and then once the time gets closer, they'll announce the run. I do think that that's a good idea. People ask me like, what makes a figure a full release from an artist versus like the Shumi Arts? It's a Shumi Arts release versus a K-Jun release. It's the artist's project. You know what I mean? Shumi Arts is just gaining interest in just sourcing out artists versus like the Jesus. You can't probably see it, but the Jesus, that was K-Jun wanted to do it. There's not a whole lot of difference. You just feel that artist's passion a lot more. Like K. June's been hyping up that Jesus way more than anything on Shumi Arts, which you can tell that that's like his release. As far as the hobby going that way, I don't know. Dude, honestly, guys, I really don't know. I used to, like, a couple of years ago, I really cared about direction and, teaching people, whether it's me just beating the shit out of them and fucking yelling. But it's all good, guys. If you have any questions, holla. So I think that was all the YouTube comments. Now we're going to go to some of the Facebook comments. All right, Robert Terrell, 2 questions. What do you anticipate the top 3 releases of 2020 will be? Well, honest opinion, the Beto Matali Nathan Graham is going to be one of the hottest figures of 2020. I wouldn't even call it an opinion. That's literally a fact. 2020, Beto's Nathan, absolutely fire. It's a long time in the making. I'm talking like when I first got into this, he was thinking about doing like some creep show shit. And then we got this other guy that owns the rights. And Beto went to a 1/6 expo, and the guy came up to Beto and was like threatening to sue him and lawsuits, and that's when Fluffy went down the hole. And everybody that's tried to make Fluffy or do any type of creep show shit, this guy was just breathing down their neck and just fucking them up. I'm talking cease and desist letters. I'm talking a bunch of legal bullshit. And I mean, I still got him saved on my phone. I remember talking to the guy like, bro, what is fucking wrong with you? But Beto said, fuck all that, and he rocked with the Nathan Graham shit. Prototype was shown years ago, and I'm on that run, and I am freaking excited for it. Another highly anticipated figure. I don't even know of any figures coming out, really. They usually announce it. I mean, what is Rain Man working on right now? He's working on E.T. We got Beto's H40. Halloween 40. I would probably say, I mean, if this guy, you can't see him, but if this fucking Bendejo is a 2020 release, I'm telling you guys, Jesus is one of those figures where you just hold it and you're just like, this hobby is the shit. I fucking love it. It's amazing. So if this is a 2020 one, that's fucking top. Again, I don't know. I know Beto's doing Frankenstein. I'm not sure. It's anticipated. I know a lot of guys have asked me about it. As far as other artists, I'm really interested to see K. June's Andy Warhol. All right, let's go down here. Paul Manzi. Shout out to my buddy Paul. Thoughts on all of the trolls / fake account spammers? And what are you doing with my Fluffy and your Detolf, Joe? LOL. So there's Fluffy. I love Fluffy. What was the other question about spammers? Or thoughts on all the trolls and fake accounts? Like I kind of touched on earlier in this video, trolls are fucking real in this hobby. I have been trolled harder than fucking anybody. There's been a lot of negativity when my name is brought up in the hobby. It doesn't bother me at all. This is the internet, you know what I mean? It's fucking dumb. It's funny because whenever something is brought up, there's these certain people, there's certain guys, they'll go to like every single group and post the same shit over and over, and they just wait for my name to be brought up, and they're like, what? Stiffy? They'll post like memes and shit and all these pictures. Like I have a list. I put my name, my face, my life behind the camera, and this guy has 50 fucking accounts. And the reason he has 50 accounts is because he's a fucking maniac. He'll get kicked out of all these groups, and then he'll just get another name, and then he'll just join again. And it's like, dude, really? It's crazy to me. And you know what's even funnier is like some of those threads that people bash me on, it's literally like some guy will post all this retarded shit that just doesn't make sense and just makes them look so bad. Like you guys, if you are watching this and you post screenshots, when you're posting screenshots about shit, do you really understand? Like let's talk as adults. Do you understand what that makes you look like? Fucking pathetic, right? But like someone will make a post about me and then they'll log into their other account and then they'll like comment on their own post. Then they'll log into the other account and comment on that post. and then log into another account and then comment and go back and forth. There's posts that I have screenshotted that people send me all the time. There's literally like, there's a thread with 50 comments and there's a total of 2 people. But there's like 30 accounts talking and it's 2 fucking people. Those are trolls and they're fucking losers. Like, you guys, losers. Fucking go outside. David Tucker, my buddy's The Creations. What specific horror character that either hasn't been done or was very limited would you like to see done, and by whom? Meaning, what figure could ones do perfectly, Rain Man perfectly, Beetle perfectly, and so on? Every artist has a super different style. Like, one's customs, like if you look at his, like if you compare like this look to this look, this is a lot more clean and factory looking, which I am a huge fan of. And this is more grunge, like screen accurate, like will fuck everybody in the ass. So that one's fire too. And then like Rain Man, like people always comment about Rain Man's likeness and shit. It's like, guys, likeness is important, but Rain Man has a style. Like, this is artwork. If you don't think this shit is artwork and you're paying $5,000 for a figure, like, then you're real dumb. If you think this is just toys and you're spending $2,000 on a toy, or maybe it's just me trying to justify spending this kind of money. But Rain Man has his own style. So, like, people will take it to Wonka and be like, wow, that doesn't really look like him. If Hot Toys did it, it's like, okay, guys, okay. But that's Rain Man's interpretation of the character. This shit is fucking, there's 10 of them. This is fan art. It's not named Willy Wonka. It's like the factory owner or whatever. But every artist has their own style, and that's what literally brings me even closer to this hobby. It makes me want to touch myself. We're cruising on down the list. There's one more here there's a couple of them. I don't want to talk about that because shout out to my buddy Ryan. I'm not even going to say your last name. I can't answer that question because that's a little too rowdy and you're going to get me jumped. Last question. Full Dust 93. How do you deal with internet bullies? I've struggled my entire life with bullies, real life and on the web, and I would appreciate your input on the topic. Keep the new vids coming. Thank you for the comment, sir. That bums me out here. All I can say is when someone treats you nasty or poorly, don't take it personally, because it says nothing about you and a lot about them. I think a lot of people in this hobby have been bullied, me including me. Like, I've been fucking bullied in real life and on the internet, obviously. All I can say to that is you're not alone. It's like, I know this is super cliche, and it's like super, like, look at, remember when I tell you guys I wear hearing aids? Like, I wear hearing aids and shit, and people used to walk up to me and, hey, retard, huh? You can't hear me? And it's fuck them. You know what I mean? It's like, it's stupid to say, but it's like, what do they say? They say, you laugh at me because I'm different, I laugh at you because you're all the same. Like, embrace the difference, buddy. I don't know if you're in high school. I don't know. I do know that high school was super brutal to me. I mean, I jumped around schools a little bit, but when I graduated, I was the homecoming and the prom king. And you know why I was the homecoming and prom king? Because I was fucking nice to everybody. I literally remember when someone took a kid that was in a wheelchair with fucking cerebral palsy and tipped him forward in the snowbank. You know what happened? I fucking threw some hands, son. People are nasty in the world, dude. As far as the internet, like I said earlier, like, when you put yourself on the internet, you have to expect trolls. Like, that comes with the territory. And the trolls don't bother me at all. It's like I said, like, it's the internet. I'll never see these guys. These guys will never see me. They don't like me. It's fine. It doesn't affect me in the slightest bit. It actually motivates me more. If you're even watching this, bud, don't let it bother you. And I know it's easy to just say that because, like I said, I've been there. And if I were to ask that question to someone when I was in the middle of being bullied and harassed and picked on, and someone said, oh, don't let it bother you, like, that wouldn't really help. But, like, it doesn't last forever. I'm a firm believer, if someone's picking on you, fight them. Like, don't start a fight, but if someone's picking on you, fight them. And if you get your ass beat, that's fine. And if they pick on you the next day, you fucking fight them again. And if you get your ass beat again, that's fine. But eventually that cocksucker will stop fucking with you, because he knows that every time that he picks on you, you're gonna fucking stand up for yourself. And nobody wants to fight every day, except online about fucking Rain Man figures. So, oh man. All right, so that'll be it for this episode of Q&A. If you guys like this video, please leave a comment. Please thumb this video up if you like it, because I'm trying to, you know, how the ergonomics, or what's the word? How does it work? YouTube works. Like, the more likes, the more people share it, the more it spreads, the more activity builds, the more I want to do videos, the more videos you'll see from me. So, thank you for watching. Don't piss towards the wind. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.